Hey everyone, welcome to Stuff I Never Learned from a Schoolbook. If you're looking at the bearded one, that means it's Monday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. I think we're 3 out in Hawaii right now, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning out in Indonesia, and about 9 a.m. out in Australia. Welcome everybody to Stuff I Never Learned from a Schoolbook. Again, my name is Tom Springer, and I'm the host. Thank you for showing up. It's been a while since I've been on here. Hope everyone enjoyed the holidays. I did take a couple of weeks off specifically for the holidays, so this is the first show coming back for the new year. So I'm just kind of keeping an eye on everything to make sure my stuff is working. If Nikki can give me a quick shout out, if she can see if we are actually running on Facebook or not. Every once in a while I have a problem with one of the links. So if someone can give me let me know if you signed into Facebook and if Facebook is working, that would be fantastic. Oh, there's Nikki, so that must be good. I'm assuming she's seeing me there. So let me kind of wrap my head around everything because I have been off for a couple of weeks and still getting used to the page, all that wonderful stuff. But welcome. Yeah, Nick, I can see your posts, so must be up on Facebook. Everything's running well. Good to know. I do have 2 people on today. I know that the announcement only said I had 1, and Amanda Quills, who's coming, is going to be the one coming on. But we also have her son Nathan. So the show will be running for an hour. And hi, Kathy, how are you? And it will be running an hour because Amanda has another commitment that she's going to run to. Someone cooler than us, but that's all right. We'll let that happen. But anyways, I'm not going to waste any time since we only have an hour. Stuart, I saw your message. I'm glad you're here, just at least saying hi. Sorry you're stuck working, but I'm going to go ahead and bring in Amanda and Nathan now. So give me a second to get them onto here. There's Miss Amanda and there's Mr. Nathan. How you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the show. Again, still a work in progress, trying to figure out how all this works, but I'm getting there. So thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
So I've had Amanda on. I've had you on before, but it's been a minute since you've been on my show. It has. And that's kind of my bad. A lot of new people have been coming on as well. I mean, right now I have people asking to come on, and I'm full through the end of March. So
wow.
Really not inviting people right now because I'm so full. About a month I'll start inviting more people, but right now we're pretty stacked, so that's pretty good. So I'm happy I was able to get you guys in here.
Yeah, and then we call that books closed,
right?
Yeah.
But the good news is that we were able to bring on an extra person, and this is your son Nathan, correct?
This is my son Nathan. I thought I'd sneak him in.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yep. So I want to say hi to Nathan as well as Amanda. But they're going to both be here for an hour, so I will be keeping an eye on the clock to let me know about when we need to let you guys go. But do me a favor. Introduce yourself, because like I said, it has been a minute since you've been on here. Nathan, I'm going to want you to do the same thing. But Amanda, I want you to go first. Ladies first.
Okay. It's an age before beauty thing, hey?
That's definitely why I went.
Yeah.
Introduce who you are, what you do, and how you got into doing it, and how long you've been doing it.
Well, we don't want to age myself completely, but I've been doing it for a red hot minute. But I've been actually investigating the paranormal since the early 90s. I got started really young. I am a paranormal investigator. I'm also the founder of Coldspotters Paranormal, which we have teams all over. Yes.
Yep,
breaking news, Maddie Quill, Coldspotters. Sorry, that's Nathan's joke. So I shouldn't steal it. But yeah, so it's been my life. I've been obsessed with ghost stories since I was a wee little child, and here I am, and I've like passed it along to my dear son, and I realized with Coldspotters, with my group and with my team in Vancouver, because we're based in Vancouver, British Columbia. I realized that we're getting a younger team, and we're getting these youngsters that don't really know the up in Canada, like we're kind of hidden away. We kind of like we do our little thing quietly, but not as out there as in the States. Like in the States, it's where everyone knows who everyone is, and we're, I've seen both sides of it, living in the States and living in Canada. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring my son on, because it's like I want him to be like he's been, well, I'll let him introduce himself with the paranormal, but he's been investigating for quite a long time. And yes, the whole Amanda Quill dragging her son on here, but yeah, he's a mind that you want to pick, and he's someone that you want to watch, because he's yeah, talk about squirrel. That's my intro. Squirrel. Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, Nathan, with that, let's roll right into you and introduce yourself and let us know what you do, how long you've been doing it, and what got you started. I'm pretty sure your mom's what got you started, but let us know everything about you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'm Nathan. I've been investigating the paranormal for about 15, 16 years now. So like about over half my life. And yeah, I've gotten into, obviously my mom was definitely helped to get me into it, but I've also had experiences when I was a kid where I just kind of was looking for answers and looking
Mm-hmm.
for what's going on out there and stuff, and just the curiosity out of everything. And yeah, it kind of wasn't expecting it to go this far. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked that it has gone this far, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Are you part of the Coldspotters team as well, or do you have an
Yes,
own?
I am. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. I'm the lead tech with the Coldspotters team.
I just don't know if you branched off and said, "Nah, ma, you got your thing. I'm going to go do mine," or whatever.
Yes, no more, no rivalries.
Yeah, that's that the rivalry. We have a better. So,
Rounded.
Yeah.
and that's how his career ended. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Almost
so
made
cute,
it.
Nathan.
So, this is going to be a question I know someone's going to ask, so I'll just get it out of the way now. You're both paranormal investigators. Your teams are paranormal investigators. Does your team, either one of you, or does anyone on your teams have abilities that help you in your investigations? Like I'm a medium, I'm a psychic. Do any of yours have
It's like,
abilities?
how do you want me to answer that? No, my team is completely unskilled. Completely unhelpful. We need a lot of work. Yeah, we have one or two skilled people on the team. No, we definitely our biggest thing is intuition. We do follow intuition. Yes.
Okay.
We've taken a bit of a sidestep where we used to be very technical, very following a certain process, and following yeah, I guess a certain line and a certain sort of, I don't know what a like structured way of investigating.
Right.
And we've definitely started to veer a little bit more towards our intuition, and our intuition with our culture as well. Nathan and I, both being indigenous, we've actually have a side project with Coldspotters where we do investigate a lot with our culture and with our indigenous roots, and tying it to the land and tying it to legends and stories. So that's actually a great question, because we have been in the past not so open to that, and now we are definitely trying to, yeah, use our intuition. I think that's what we'll say.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's something that I'm learning to do, because I'm also indigenous. So I don't look at, but I'm also I'm a very weird combination of Native American and Norse. So I have these two different sides. You're
We're Cree,
Cree,
so we're all about the Norse and the natives.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're right on. So perfect. But yeah, so that's good to know that you're being introduced to that side, or you're inviting more of that side to it, rather than just going strictly technical, which is Nathan's lane apparently, the young kids. So,
Yeah, I throw it to him.
so what are the? I know this is just a very odd, weird question, because everything's. I mean, most places are going to be like, well, we have the same buildings you do, but is there anything unique that you investigate up there compared to what you know about the States.
Igloos.
Igloos, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those melt. So those are come and
The
go.
ghosts. Igloos and polar bears. Yeah.
Yeah.
Haunted polar bears. Yeah. I think
Ghost
the other
bear.
on a walrus.
The polar bear's got to be rough though, because you can't really get too close to talk to that.
No, you can't. It's that's where we're using our intuition, and our intuition usually tells us to run.
When you guys were investigating, do you have? I'm going to go through all the standard questions first until I start kicking into the not so standard, which is where I really excel. But I'm going to go through all the questions that normal people are going to ask, just not me.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Melody. Favorite equipment to use? What do you got? What do you lean on if you're looking outside of your intuition? What is that one piece of equipment that you're like, okay, this is what I rely on all the time?
Nathan, you take that one.
Me, I think it's to say the DR60, DR600, 6600, one of those. Yeah, that's the one that I personally love, because you get that. It's no like you don't have to wait a week to get results. It's just right there, perfect. And so I'm a big fan of that one. I also like obviously like a K2 meter, just because it's more for just finding energy points in rooms. Where if like we're above like a kitchen or something, there's a lot of energy emitting from the floor. That long periods of that can affect like the human mind and stuff. So just having those kind of things taken into account is just nice to have when you're talking with experiences. You kind of can, it almost like, all right, there's a lot of energy in this room just as is a base reading. This is the room that has all this stuff, and you can kind of put it together like that. But you can also get lost in that, and that's why we're trying to lean back to intuition and stuff.
when you started pushing into your intuition side, like when I'm on an investigation and I recognize stuff, I really feel it in my head. Like I really feel the energy kick into my head. Do you guys have any trigger points? Like when you walk into something using intuition, kind of like you're like, okay, there's something here. Even before you pull the equipment out, you're just like, okay, yeah, there's something here. So, what's yours? Share it, man. You're making Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan, take it. Yeah, I have like my spidey sense, but I call it like I have a tell. And for me, it's almost like someone's grabbing my arm, like someone's trying to get my attention. But I feel that. I physically feel something grab my arm, and it's like, oh, and I always know something's about to happen. So I'll say that. I'm like, oh, my tell, or someone just grabbed my arm. Like I'll say that during investigations, my spidey sense going off. But
yeah, that's what mine is. It feels like a spidey sense in my back of my neck and my head. So yeah, what do you got, Nathan? What's yours?
Mine's like a more of a visual thing. It's like I don't know. It's weird. It's like if I'm sitting there, I'll be like just listening. I'll be staring at the ground in the darkness. So like it's already pitch black as is, but it almost like it just feels like something's like puts a towel over my head or something like that, and then all of a sudden stuff just starts going off, and I'm like, so it's kind of like it's almost like I'm entered into a new world. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, it's a little precursor to warn you, hey, stuff's about to get real. Yeah.
I kind of like that. Yeah, it's like
there's a question for you, Nathan.
Sorry, it's like a heads up. It's a heads up, like to
It's kind of that precursor to what's going to happen. So this says, Nathan, talk about how you got started at such a young age. I know your mom was an investigator, but what enticed you to start investigating at such a young age?
Being addicted to ghost shows for a bit, and then just kind of like realizing my experience when I was a kid, because I didn't realize it when I was a kid until I was later on in life. And once I kind of put two and two together, I was like, oh, okay, I got to figure out what's going on. And then me and my mom just rode the Vespa around where Edmonton and went and investigated places.
So so Nathan, when you investigated at such a young age, were there times you just went investigating on your own without telling your mom?
Yeah, when it was like me and my buddies, and I'd be like, oh, I heard this place is haunted, and we'd just like go break in, and like, well, it's like 13, 14, 15 when I was doing this. So like it was probably, there was like an old hospital in Edmonton. I don't think it's still there. I think they tore it down, but we used to break into that one a lot. And there's a lot of creepy. You know what the one I'm talking about is?
Yes, I
I don't remember
know.
the name of it, but
The Camden.
yeah,
Investigate that place.
Yeah. It's an old Indian hospital, and I believe a lot of TB went through there, and yeah, that's the
that was a
Camden, or the Charles Camden or something.
that
Cramsel
was a really
Camden. Yeah,
yeah. It was. I was pretty
yeah,
young going in there. I
spooky,
just remembered it was all fenced off, and so me and my friends were like, "Oh, it's got to be
dangerous.
haunted. It's
Right.
fenced off." Yeah, it was pretty dangerous as well. Like just hazards wise and stuff. But man,
Mhm.
I was young.
As someone who has broken into a hospital, I can say it's not very good to do that. And to someone who broke into a hospital and
Yeah, I
fell through
don't
a
say do
floor,
it. Yeah.
I can tell you it's very not okay to do that.
I am not saying do this. I am not saying do
Not condoning his actions. He was young. He didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Before you
I was just a boy.
right.
Yeah.
My friends were peer pressuring me into it. So
I noticed that there was a question about Nathan's hair, and actually his hair was long when he was young.
I was about to bring that one up. So Nathan, you have another question. So Stuart, he says the Army sought great indigenous trackers for Nam, brought them in, cut their hair, and their abilities went away. Was your hair longer when you started, and did it help?
I felt my hair was, I used to have longer hair. I've been kind of growing it a little bit back out again. It's just I'm just kind of greasy right now, but yeah, when I did have longer hair, that's crazy. I actually never thought about that, but yeah, no, it was like I would always have that's when I was like seeing stuff like frequently at places, when I would go into places, and every time I'd be like, "Oh yeah, you guys see that?" And they were like,
No.
right. Well, hey, well, maybe I shouldn't tell you guys about that. But yeah, no, that's actually I never thought about that. But yeah,
I know I can't grow my hair back, so that's going to be an. I mean, I guess I can still grow it out here, but
yeah, you still got it. You got
I guess that's going to be an issue.
Yeah. I see length.
And Amanda, my wife wrote Amber.
We're gonna let that Amber comment go away.
I know that Nikki's sister's name is Amber, so.
Yeah, and yes, I did say AQ. So yeah.
Asking, did you try to keep Nathan away from certain locations because of evil, bad, whatever type of spirits?
Well, to be honest, I kept Nathan away from everything. I kept Nathan away from everything paranormal until he came and brought it to me. It's all good, Nicole. I get called Amber a lot, but I kept him. I didn't want ever to put him in a position where he was scared, and he knew what I did, but he didn't really understand what I did, and it was when he started watching shows like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Hunters International that he brought it to me and wanting to know more about what I do, and wanting to come on investigation. So it wasn't until he brought it to me and I thought he was at an age where, yeah, he deserved some answers, because he had been having experiences, and I played it off like it was normal because I didn't want him to be scared. and I'll let Nathan tell you about that story if he wants to. But yeah, he's definitely been seeing spirits for a lot longer than he knew, and I just played it off like normal because certain locations or certain anything, I just didn't want him. He had enough to worry about growing up that he had to worry about the paranormal, if that makes sense. Yeah. So nowadays, do I keep him away from certain locations? I think sometimes I may, but I'm a big believer in our energy, and what's going on in our life can affect investigations, whether we're going through breakups or we're going through new loves or we're going through anything that comes out of us. Now, enter into an investigation. If I know that some of my investigators have those things going on in their life, oh yeah, I'm going to throw them in because they're emitting this emotion. Now, someone like Nathan goes into an investigation with me, and I'm his mother. Oh yeah, I will throw him in. because I know that worry and the love and the admiration of what he's doing is going to shine
Right.
through me. And so it's like maybe I do keep him away from certain locations because I will throw him in
Yeah.
if he's there. He is a ghost magnet. He is absolutely like this kid can't not get evidence. It's ridiculous. I don't think he's ever gone to investigation and been like, like the rest of
Everybody
us
else
have
knows.
done. Ridiculous. Yeah. So yeah, I throw him to the wolves every time. So
Wow.
yes.
Your mom just said,
I do it to protect him from me, really.
That's push your friend forward while you take a step backwards.
right?
Yeah.
One right
Here you go.
Yeah, totally. Oh, ghost magnet, you say? Yeah. Let's see if this is
right?
safe.
Can't be a magnet if you're not close.
Take one for the team.
Gotta get that evidence.
Yeah.
Here, hold this SLS while you do it. So,
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
that's family love right there.
Mhm.
All about the evidence.
Yeah, I'm not worried about what the ghosts are going to do. I'm just going to worry about the situation I'm going to
Right?
put them in.
Like, yeah, so Nathan, if
It's
anything,
true.
don't worry, you'll have really good evidence. We'll have it recorded of what happened to you, so it'll be great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
This is kind of freaking me out every time I look. It's like very ring, like the
It's,
ring
yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
thing hanging at me. I'm like,
Yeah, I know. I keep watching your background too.
I'm very charged.
I know.
Yeah.
I can sense the video or anything that when I do this is other people's energies. I do it in person.
Yeah.
I do it over lives like this. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to feel. Which is funny because a lot of people, when they feel it, it bothers them. It gives them a headache or it does something else or it interferes with their energy. Like when I'm on investigation, I have to tone my energy down because my energy will block others. Like their abilities to pick up on things, whatever else, because I emit such high energy that it will step into their way. So I have to make sure I pull back. And I just kind of got to internalize it and act like I'm not really seeing those three things that are standing in the corner that are moving, out loud. So I'll let them come up with it on their own. When you decided that Nathan was going to become a member of Coldspotters, like legitimately, officially, so you talk about, Nathan, you talk about your role as basically the techie guy. Is that what you came in as? Is basically like the techie guy for? No.
No, I just came in as
victim.
Just ragtag, boots on the ground Marine. I guess I don't know. Like I was just the guy, or just an investigator like everybody else for a while, and then just over the years, I kind of just slowly worked my way up. And just the opportunity came up, and I was like, well, I've been here this long, man. Just kidding.
You only investigate spirit. I'm very curious because of the fact that you guys are in Canada. You guys also branch out and let cryptids and stuff like that.
We do. We're really close neighbors with Sasquatch up here, Bigfoot. So we're out there quite. I dare I say I've been very close encounters with quite a few interesting things in our wilderness. There's like no other. Like when we actually get out there, and I think that's what scares me more than anything is my encounters with Sasquatch and my how close we really are. And I always say it's I don't think it's a coincidence that we never find Sasquatch, but they seem to find us quite easily. So
so do you fall under the thought process of they are interdimensional?
Yeah, I do. I think that they are. I think there are a lot of things. I think that we're even barely touching on the on the reality of what they are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
think that's why we don't see a lot of the stuff is because they're portal walkers or they're that's what they are to me. They're portal walkers,
Mm-hmm.
so they
Yeah.
go. And I think
Peekaboos. They come and take a
yeah,
look. And I was actually just having a big conversation about that with someone last night about just the different like time skips. What are they? And just like how can yeah, just yeah.
yeah, that's so.
Yeah.
So you're only here for an hour, so I can't go into that method because otherwise we'll be here all night talking about
Yeah.
time jumps and everything else. Because those are my things as well. I definitely have the nerd capacity to fill in all those time frames
Mm-hmm.
for all that type of stuff. So we can sit here and talk
Mm-hmm.
about that all night. Kayla is asking either one of you, or both of you, it's Kayla Black, wants to know: are there reoccurring spirits that have visited you throughout the years?
We're just so happy, Kayla Black. We love Kayla Black. She's actually part of our team. And yeah, Kayla Black is amazing. I think that there are. I think that I have one that seems to visit us quite often and interrupt some of our investigations sometimes. um,
Do
what
you,
that's
do you do you think they're protectors? If you have recurring ones that seem to follow you on investigations, do you think some of them are there just looking over you, looking out for you, that are just protecting?
hmm, yeah. Yes, I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
Because I mean, I'm not getting hurt, so yes. I think that we are blessed with protectors and with our guides, and I think a lot of our intuition is our guides and different spirits that are looking out for us. Our ancestors as well. They're always there too. So
Yeah.
I think if we dig down deep enough, we can all say, even when the most terrified that we are or unsure. I think a lot of what we're encountering is protection. And when you think about it, of a parent, when they just protect their child, they're going to do it
Right.
in that aggressive manner.
Yeah.
So when something's protective of us too, it make him off as like that
Right.
aggressive nature. But it's because in that moment you're going to do anything to protect your baby bear, or you're going to do anything to protect the thing that you're there to protect. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that yeah, they are protectors, but
What
sometimes
about
scary.
what about places that you have investigated that you're just like, nope, not going back there. Nope, not doing that one again.
Actually, I had one, and I had one, and it took me years, and it took me multiple attempts, but I did get back there, and I have investigated again, and I've continued to investigate there. But yeah, darn near scared me right out of it. And then when I say that, I say that kind of with jest, but no, I almost completely quit the paranormal over
Really?
this encounter, and it was some of the most terrifying, like dread. That's the feeling. It was dread inside of me that yeah, and I did get through it, and using protectors and using, like, as Kayla mentioned, reoccurring spirits and reoccurring um themes, or even activity that it's gone on, and kind of settled with that, and yeah, grown from it. So yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely,
Let Matt have.
yeah, it's scary. But I've never gone to a place where I've gone to a place where I said I wouldn't go back, but not because I was scared, more because I was annoyed or I didn't like it, but not for paranormal reasons.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Nathan? Same question.
uh,
Any place
there's
you got to and you're like, no. Oh, no.
no, yeah, no. There's one place where I probably wouldn't go back just because it didn't feel like we were very welcome there to begin. Like when we first got in and we started our investigation, it just was like really uneasy, kind of from the beginning. And then, yeah, I kind of took off from there. Saw like shadow people. Saw like it was just pretty intense for what it was. And yeah, and at the end of it, it was like almost like had an experience of like almost someone like making a joke that we were leaving and stuff like, oh, I made you guys leave and get out of here now. And I was like, you know what?
Like, you
See
know
you,
what?
buddy. Like, I'm not coming back.
They
I'm
go
out of here.
pick up on that
Is
I
joke.
this a
got the
certain
message.
army base?
No, it's a certain friend that moved. It was a
Oh, okay.
yeah, that place. Yeah,
You
that's
know, it's another place that he broke into and didn't tell you about with his friends. You know, one of those.
yeah, no, it
No,
was actually
I know
it was actually
I
with
know the
it was
places
with
you're
my
talking about.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, we both left that place. We were like, yep, see you guys. All right.
Well,
We're only
well,
gonna
yep. Have a good night.
yeah,
We bid you
we're
adieu.
out of here. Yeah. Yeah, it was an early night that night.
Yeah.
So, Nikki and I just spent the. We just finished. I take time off because she's a high school teacher, and so she gets the holidays off for 2 weeks. So I went ahead and took 2 weeks off with her, and we actually ended up going to the Velisca Axe Murder House down here, and it was very quiet for us. We went in the middle of the day.
Mhm.
We were the only two that were in there, but it was very quiet. When we first initially walked in, there's someone else that walks in and kind of gives you a tour, tells you the stories behind it and everything else. And at that point, we were able to feel energy. But I expected there to be more. But
Mhm.
talking with other people who have investigated there or have heard about it, and have other people who have heard from others, you have to go back more than once because there's not um, the initial interaction with spirit isn't right away. They have to
Mhm.
understand that you're not just there to do a dog and pony show, but there's actually a reason for you coming there.
Mm.
So you have to build their trust um,
Right.
in
It's a
order to.
little tiny place, isn't it?
It's very small, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The the attic is. I had to duck and turn sideways to get
Mm.
through because it's an A-frame in the attic area. So
Okay.
I'm only 5'8", but when I stood up and I was by the A-frame because they redid the roof, they redid the yep. Um, oh, they just did all the shingles and everything else. The
Okay.
nails are through, so if I'm too far over to one
Oh.
side, the nails could actually catch me on my head. So
Mm.
Oh my
I
God.
had to stay in the
It is
middle,
a murder house. It's trying to murder you.
right? No, it's trying to make me. But you kind of had to stay in the middle. But even up there, like when we went room to room and talked and asked questions and everything else, and you can just tell they just stepped back and they were like, nope, new people don't know who you are,
Yeah.
kind of things. And that's something that some people because a lot of people that are in my audience, not everyone is investigator.
Mhm.
They come in and they do some, they come in because they're follow my cryptid side or my UFO side or whatever else. So they don't really
Mhm.
know about paranormal investigation, but what they see is what they see on TV. And they don't
Right.
understand sometimes we sit there for hours and get nada, don't get a
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
And even when you're like, okay, maybe there's something in the recordings and you spend all those hours listening back to the recordings and watching all the video and you're like, crap, I got nothing. So, so I absolutely know that you guys have had those experiences. When that happens to you, does that make you basically decide not to go back, or you're like, no, we're going back to get something, and it encourages you to go back and try different tactics, maybe just showing up a second time, maybe they'll
Mm.
interact, seen you once
Well, with
before.
my team, I definitely try to push them to always go back. Like we do, we try to do at least 3 visits
Okay,
to a site. Um, because yeah, maybe they're just not used to us, or maybe something the way that we entered was incorrect. Like first impressions, right? Like it could be our energy. It could be maybe we were nervous and they didn't want to scare us. Maybe we were just too eager and they were just like, whoa, slow down. Easy text. So I think we do, but we're very we will talk about it too. Like we weren't getting anything. What is our goal? What's our intention here? And that's a lot of what we investigate with is intention.
yeah,
Are we trying to get them to speak? Well, we're trying to get EVPs. Well, how do you want to be spoken to? How are you going to, if this was a person, how are we going to get the results from them? We do sometimes, I mean, like I said earlier, like I love my team. We're such a great energy, and we just jump off each other, and we got a really young and like eager energy. But I can guarantee you that that's not always well taken, because we are like we're a little bit of fireflies sometimes. But so yeah, maybe people want that just a little quieter, so we come in, I'm not saying me, because I'm probably, yeah, I think I am the oldest, like I'm one of the oldest on the team. But all the other young firecrackers come running in there, like pew 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 pew. It's an interesting thing that's happened, because I've always almost been the one of the youngest on a team, or one of the youngest throughout investigations, and now I am totally the oldest. It's like me and Greg. We're the old grumpy parents. And then we have this very young team.
I actually have a slide up next to me, because I have dual screens right now, and I'm actually looking over and I can see the team, and yeah, there's a bunch of youngins on there. Yeah. On there, yep. Do you ever have issues? Because I know that you talked about there's not a whole lot of teams that are up there that, like there are out here, that just kind of follow each other around and go to different locations, everything else. Have you had the experience that if you have followed a team in, if they left a bad energy, then the spirit is pretty negative? They're angry that team before you was like, or it's been like, all they do is antagonize. So we're just going to be jerks back this time. We've run into that before. So I just didn't know if you guys have experienced that as well. And it seems to be not something you're doing, but it's something that the groups behind you or before you have instigated. It's kind of stirred the place up.
Yes. And I see that. I do see that a lot. And I see that even when we travel, we do a lot of road trips as well, meeting other Coldspotters teams, or just us in general, road tripping. And sometimes with the bigger name places, you go in after a production's gone in, and it's like you see the kind of aftermath of that energy. Every time I go to a new location, every time I go to a location, I try to kind of go in there myself. And after years of working with me, my team is like, they've called it lone wolfing. I go in and I just do my own thing, or I go and I walk the perimeter on my own. I always take a little time by myself to introduce the team, to introduce myself and what we're doing. And I don't know when it became so important that I do that, but I knew it was something I had to do. Even when we're just at a graveyard somewhere, I just go off on my own. And I find that helps, and it helps the introduction. If I don't do that, or if I'm late and the team's already in there, or I can't make it, I do notice there's a difference in the energy. And I think that's why it's important. Like working with Nathan and working with Kayla, the three of us, like we're very very much bonded. And like I said, that we have that other side of our indigenous investigations, and I think it's so important that I take them through that, and I show them what I'm doing, and I'm showing them the energy that we want as Coldspotters to leave behind, and what we want to respect the land and respect the process of what's happening here. And so I do go in sometimes, and I apologize to whoever's there for any instigating or just bad energy or mojo left behind. And I just saw the comment from William Nighthawk. Hello, William. Oh, that's so amazing. Love that guy. Yeah.
So Ajang actually is visiting us right now from Indonesia. So you hear me do all the spiels in the front for all the different time zones. That's because people watch us from all these different time zones. And Ajang is actually watching us from Indonesia right now. So she asked, have there been paranormal incidents where you live?
Yes.
I'm going to let Nathan have this one. And he knows exactly why.
Yeah, we could talk about the same house. Like my current house, no, but when I was a kid, it's actually one of the big reasons of why I got involved with the paranormal. I used to just see this little girl in my basement all the time, and it wasn't like threatening or anything, and I was a child, so I'd just try and go in, play, and just wouldn't speak to me, wouldn't acknowledge me, just like look right through me, and like I just get mad. I was angry. Just, oh, you're not playing with me? Why? And then I'd go up and talk to my mom, get mad, and little girl's not playing with me, blah 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 blah, and just getting angry about it. She's like, well, it's all right. She doesn't have to play. And then one day she kind of just told me like, hey, I'm going to tell her like, if you're not going to play with me, you need to get out of my house. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And then never saw her again. And I never put two and two together until I was like 14 years old, because I was speaking to my mom and I was like, yeah, I've never seen a ghost, so I don't know if I've ever. And she's like, well, remember the little girl in the basement? And like, I just
Just
yeah,
Just do it.
yeah, it was, and that's what I got it. That's what I needed to find out some stuff and look for some answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah.
So Amanda, you still have issues, or I don't want to say issues, but you still have experiences.
I have lots of issues.
Where you're at.
I mean, I always have a certain spiritual shine, let's say. I have the shining. Oh my gosh.
See, now we're back to our issues again. See? I wasn't wrong.
Yeah. I am no longer in the home that I lived in before. So I lived in a home in South Carolina that was absolutely ripe with activity. I couldn't get through a podcast without something happening. And not all of it was, paranormal, but hey, no, but a lot of it was. So I have lived in very, very calm, lovely spaces, and I've lived in very, very active spaces. I think with my own energy too, and my own, as I put it, shining, I do cause a lot of things. I PK a little bit. So I do appreciate a nice, calm, quiet, non-active home, and I do when I'm not investigating, when I'm not involved in the paranormal, and I feel like a lot of times I really am, I like to be restful. I like to be quiet. I like to be in my I'm a cuddly person. I'm a like, okay, let's get away from this. Like, let's like find a bunch of blankets and put them over our heads and make a blanket fort. Like, I'm that person. I don't always want to be like energy. I'm very rest time. It's healing time. It's nice time. So it's nice time. Yeah. I sing my night songs and I go to
spend a lot of time
and hope my dreams don't destroy me. No.
So first off, Nighthawk states, Amanda, I have to let you know how proud you make our ancestors. Yes, we can be proud and humble at the same time. Proud of you. Okay, so that's from.
Oh, thank you.
Now I want to go back to Nikki, and Nikki says, if you are willing to share, how do you prepare yourself before you go into an investigation? Do you wear crystals? Do you say a prayer? Do you have a ritual that you and your team do? And what do you do right before you leave or as you leave? Do you have a parting statement or anything else, or prayers or stuff that you do?
Well, I mean, I'll let Nathan answer that for himself, but for me, entering a place, and I get in a lot of trouble for this, I do absolutely nothing. I go in as I am. I introduce myself. I put down my intentions, and I go, because I am one of those people that believes, why would we, like, why spray a room with like room spray if we don't want to smell what's there?
Right.
Maybe we don't. Maybe we shouldn't want to smell it, but sometimes we got to sniff it to figure out what it is. I'm really good with analogies. But there is things that I do when I leave. There's one thing that I won't share, but I do one very thing for me. That's how I exit a place. But I do say goodbye as well. And my intentions when I leave are just the same as when I do say thank you. And I do usually leave an offering, and I do, I acknowledge the land we're on. I acknowledge the everything that's helped us and kept us safe. But yes, as for my actual one little action I do, yeah, maybe people will pick up on it one day. But yes, there's something I do.
So, before you answer, Nathan, Nighthawk says, Nathan, I don't mean to be friend. You are a must in the paranormal supernatural field, brother. So,
thank you very much. I appreciate that.
so,
Thank you.
So, what do you do, Nathan, when you go in? Do you have any certain rituals?
Nothing too intense. I just usually do like a smudge before I leave, just a quick before I leave my house. Like I just do it by myself or with my roommate, and just to clean my energy. And just if I had a bad day, I don't want to bring that in there. If I had a great day, I don't want to bring that in there. I kind of try to go in with as much neutrality as possible, so I don't like just kind of cleanse myself. It's their home. I'm not trying to bring any of my stuff into their home. I'm not moving in. Like, so I'm just there. So I try to do that. And then
That's so smart.
afterwards we do acknowledgements, we leave offerings, and then I will do a smudge when I come home, just because it's also all the way around. I don't want to bring that energy to the people I live with. I don't want to have something hanging on a little too hard and just start messing with the people around me. So I always try to it's almost like a shower. Like I just quick clean up before I go out, quick clean up before I go to bed.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what we do, what Nikki and I do as well. So going in, she normally preps herself. Amanda, I'm like you. I just go in cold because I figure I'm too dumb to know any better. So I'm just going to go in as I am. And that's how I put it myself. Because I say I always have no fear of anything because I'm too dumb to know any better. But on the way out, we normally say our thank yous and everything else, and appreciate that what they've given us, even if it's nothing. At least they allowed us to be there with them. But we also do give the firm saying of nothing can attach to us or our equipment or anything else or follow us home. It doesn't have to stay here, but it can't follow us, type of thing. So that way it identifies that it can't come with us. And it just kind of affirms, look, you can't sit in the back seat while I'm driving back. This isn't what we came for. I'm not looking for a hitchhiker. I came to your house. I don't want you to come to mine. So type of thing. So you didn't give me leftovers, so stay here, type of thing. But yeah, so it's interesting to hear how everybody has their own little method on what they're going to do when they go on. A team we used to be on at one point. One of the people that we had, he would touch the house, and he would basically do a prayer or something along the lines to the house, letting him know, we come in with good intentions, but it was a prayer for peace and good type of thing. So, but yeah, so it's interesting how that kind of falls into place. So, so if anyone has anything else, we're going to have to start asking right away, because Miss Amanda has another location to be outside of my awesome show. So we probably have like another 5 minutes before I got to let them go. So just be aware of that for the audience who's talking right now. Now, just remember also that Amanda is what I call a repeat offender now, because she's been on my show before. And she falls under our family, so she's always more than welcome to come back. And you're stuck here as well. You're part of the family too. So just
all right.
I think
anyone that comes on
I think we'd like to come on with Kayla as well too. She made a little appearance in the comments too.
Yeah, she made a little appearance in there too. So yeah. So, and know that if you wanted to, I can have up to 10 people on my show at a time. So you can bring on your team.
That'll be chaos. All of us.
Yeah, it will be chaos, but I think that we should do it. We definitely should do it. And I think I mentioned to you before, Tom, that we're kind of having a lot of fun up here in Canada. And we can't say too much at this point, but we are entering a new kind of world up here in Canada where we're going to be a little bit more out in the front. So we actually will be I don't know how do I say it without saying it.
Just smile.
Do what I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble, but we may be filming really
nice.
Shortly here, and so there's going to be more Coldspotters for all to enjoy.
You have to keep us informed. In fact, what happens basically is because I have you guys on my page. So anything, and this is also for my audience. I don't know how many people actually understand this and how serious I am about this. Jessica knows this, the Cryptid Huntress, who just popped in down there. She's been on my show a handful of times as well. But, and this stands for you guys as well, just so you know, if you have advertisements or you have anything that you want to post out there, you are more than welcome to post it to my Stuff I Never Learned page. I don't care. That's what it's designed for. To get the word out for other people's information as well as mine. That's what it's for. It's for building the community and letting people know what's going on in the community. So, so that offer always stands. You also had the offer I made you before we even came on the show. But Jessica, you popped in just in time for us to get ready to leave. So you'll have to go back and actually watch the show. Kayla's in for the idea. She gave us 3 hearts, so she's in for the idea. So
nice. Ooh, and black hearts too. Those are my favorite.
So we have a couple things that we need to discuss. We need to talk about getting your team on at a later date, if they're for it and moving in, and then what future projects are, and not selling them out, before they happen, but identifying them as they happen. So.
Yeah.
And Nighthouse is calling me out, and I'm just going to ignore him calling me out. So that's okay.
Well, I'm sorry. I believe that I've never been offered a spot on Mr. Nighthawk.
Oh,
true.
Calling people out.
Gotcha. So I'm going to go ahead and call it then, because we are getting pretty close to your hour, and I don't want to leave you.
All right.
The other team.
Thank you so
much.
I mean.
But again, I appreciate y'all coming on. Nathan, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was such a great time.
Thank
you.
Again, this show is yours. Take with it what you will after we're done with it. It's not copyrighted or anything else. Use it as you need be if you want it for anything. Other than that, I will let you guys go. Thank you for coming on again. Have a great evening. I hope your next show goes well. Nathan, you on that next show as well? Or is Mom just kicking you off of that one and it's just her by herself?
No, she's dragging me along for that one too.
Oh, okay. All right, well, that's good. At least you got someone else. Leaving you without supper or anything. At least she's bringing you along for herself. So perfect. Well, thank you again. Love you all very much. Thank you for coming on, and we will see you next time. So
awesome. Thank you for having me.
See you guys later.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right, everyone. That's our show. Let me throw my stuff up there again. There's my stuff scrolling on the bottom. I very much appreciate everyone coming on, as I always do. Really happy they came on, because I haven't had Amanda on for a while, and I'm really happy that Nathan was able to come on with us, because it was nice to see the new blood that's coming onto that team. If for some reason you want to contact them, that information on the bottom where I gave that Coldspotters information, you can reach them through there. They have a Gmail link on there, or an email link on there. That's their Facebook site. I actually posted on there, so you can contact them through there as well. So feel free to reach out to them if you want to know anything else. Have any further questions for them? If not, and you want to go through me, all my information is scrolling on the bottom. Feel free to like, follow, share any of these, all of these, whatever you want. And you can email me, and I can reach out to anybody as well. Next week, I do have on another show, and I actually have on Lords and Ron. So these two I have never had on before. And I'm pretty excited to have these two on, because I've actually been trying to get, at least I didn't know Ron was with Lords. But now that I found out they're both on there, then I'm both having them come on here. So that's pretty good. So next week I do have a show. I am running shows weekly through, give me a second. I got to look, because you know me, I'm terrible at actually paying attention to my guest schedule. But at least I remembered who was actually coming on next. So I will be running steady shows all the way up until the 3rd of February, and then I'm off for a week. So every week until 10th of February, we're going to have shows every week, every Monday. So got that to look forward to. Again, I have Lords and Ron coming on. Let me see where I'm at. And then I have Josh Hurd. He is the owner of Malvern Manor, and he's also part of a a group of foursome. I'll let him talk more about that. And then then we just kind of run from there after that. Some of them are local, some of them are more spread out, more well known. Other than that, stay safe. Have a great evening. Again, if you need to contact me, contact me. I'm more than happy to answer anything I can. See you in a week. Stay safe. Stay warm. Rely on others, because I know a lot of you are having problems with the snow and everything else. Lean on each other. Just let us know you're safe. And we'll do what we can for you. All right? Much love, everybody. Talk to you later. Have a good night.